In this video, part 2 of the series, we configure the Network Manager software. Before performing the procedures in this video, make sure that you have completed all the steps from part 1 of the series, assigning IP addresses to the sensor units. Electronic components are susceptible to damage from electrostatic discharges. ESD-caused damage may not be evident and may drastically reduce the product lifespan. Whenever working with or handling exposed components or assemblies, always follow these anti-ESD recommendations. Always use protective anti-ESD devices like wrist straps, heel straps, conductive shoes, and anti-static mats. Avoid handling exposed boards and assemblies in dry or static-prone environments. Hold circuit boards by their edges and avoid touching components. When not in use, store circuit boards in anti-static bags. To add the sensor units to the Network Manager, you will require a Windows PC with the UCM and Network Manager software installed, the sensor units already configured from part 1, Ethernet switches with PoE support, Ethernet cables for PC and sensor units, IP addresses reserved for use by the sensor units. Connect your PC and sensor units to the Flare network. The sensor units require a connection that supports Power over Ethernet. Your PC only requires a regular Ethernet port. When connected, the link LEDs on the sensor units and the Ethernet switch will light up. Check that the link light on your PC is also lit up. For your PC to communicate with the sensor units, it needs a fixed IP address on the same subnet. Your installation plan should include the IP address of a PC running the Network Manager software. To assign a fixed IP address on a Windows 7 PC, click the Windows button and select Control Panel. Select Network and Sharing Center and click Change Adapter Settings. Identify the local area connection used by the sensor unit network. Right-click on it and select Properties. Select Internet Protocol version 4 and click Properties. Under Use the following IP address, enter the IP address, subnet mask, and default gateway for your PC. Click OK and then click Close. Your computer is now part of the Flare network. The next step is to add the sensor units to the Network Manager. Run the Network Manager Front Panel software. Confirm that at least one Network Manager tab is present. If there are no tabs, the Network Manager services are not running at all, and you will need to either manually start them or reinstall the software. To manually start the Network Manager services, select Tools, Services. Right-click on each Network Manager service and select Start. From the menu, select Configure. For network type, select Krypton Network. Click on the Nodes tab. The node list assigns an ID number to each sensor unit. Double-click the first node. Under Node Type, select Sensor Unit Gen 2. Enter the IP address of the sensor unit. Click OK. To save your changes and make them active, click Save and Restart. In the device list, there will be a new Sensor Unit Gen 2 node. Its status light will turn green once a connection is established. This process may take up to a minute. At this point, the sensor unit will be connected and communicating with the Network Manager. If the status light stays gray or red, first check the state of the Ethernet link lights on the sensor unit, the PC, and network switch. Next, confirm that your PC and sensor unit are on the same subnet. Finally, temporarily bypass the switch and connect your PC directly to the sensor unit. Note that in this case, a USB connection is required to power the sensor unit. Add the remaining sensor units. Refer to your installation plan for the node order. You can enter multiple sensor units at a time. Hint: in the Nodes tab, you can quickly enter units with sequential IP addresses by dragging the previous entry to the next empty slot. At this point, you can use the UCM software on the Network Manager PC to configure the sensor units from over the network. A direct USB connection is no longer required. Now that you have added the sensor units to the Network Manager, you can proceed to part 3 of this series, configuring sensor unit parameters.